Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to this episode of Tech Talk Tuesday. I am your host, Charlie the Wrench. First, I want to thank my returning subscribers for viewing. Second, I want to thank all the new viewers. And if you haven't already, go down there and click that subscribe button and hit the little bell. That way you don't miss any future episodes. I also want to apologize if I sound a little weird or nasally. I'm fighting a sinus congestion, and I'm not feeling the best at the current moment. So thank you for bearing with me. So I put a post out recently on Instagram asking for any automotive questions or topics you want discussed in this episode. I got a message on Instagram from P1.jp, and his question was, what scanner are you using and why? I'm using the Maximus 2.0. I apologize, but I'm going to refer to you as JP. So JP, I've got two scanners behind me here I'm about to show you. I just want to tell you real quick why I'm using one of them. My primary scanner is the Snap-on Veris Pro. I'm using the scanner because I wanted something fully capable with most OEMs that I didn't have to shuck out $3,000–$4,000 right off the bat to buy. At the time when I bought the scanner, the only tool truck I had in my route was a Snap-on. I've done a lot of business with them, and I was able to make a pretty good deal. This actually wasn't my first scanner. My first scanner was a Modus Ultra, and the Modus Ultra opened my eyes to the potential of having a lab scope. This is also where I first heard about Paul Danner and started playing around with scopes and whatnot. So I guess that kind of led me into getting the Veris Pro, because it does come with a 4-channel scope, and it's actually a really good scope. So that's how I ended up to it. Now I'm going to go over a few features and a few of the things why I've kept it and why I keep using it today. I've also got another scanner here that is a shop supplied scanner. I did take part in helping pick out this scanner, but it really complements the Veris Pro very well, and I think it also came with a 4-channel scope. But anyway, so enough of me rambling with my nasally voice. Let me bring you in, let me show you the two scanners and show you what I like about them most. Okay, so first up here is my Snap-on Veris Pro. I only have it updated to 17.4. Personally, I usually do these in about 2-year increments, just because of the cost of updates. Real quick, I'm going to go through some features. So you do have in here, you have the OEM level scanner, you have the global guided component test. This is one of the great features that I love about the Snap-on scanners, and I'm not entirely sure if I can go in and show you a demonstration, but I'm going to try to. So anyways, you go in, let me get you a little better shot. So we go in, I'm going to select domestics. Let's go with a Ford because I'm a Ford guy. Let's go with a 1999 because I have a Crown Victoria. Crown Vic, 4.6, yes. Fuel injection. Let's see, what's a good one? I don't know. Let's go with crank sensor. So you have component information available, and this is going to tell you it's a magnetic pulse generator that outputs AC voltage proportional to engine speed. Tells you it has 35 teeth. The missing tooth is used as the sync signal for the coil firing. Yeah, so it gives you basic information. It also tells you down here the best test location. Sorry, it's kind of out of screen there. So it tells you the best test location is on the crankshaft sensor. This is really helpful, I find, with like O2 sensors and whatnot. It'll tell you if there is a better spot to test it or an easier spot to test it. It says the component location is on the front of the engine, right-hand side of the crankshaft. And it also gives you a pinout. So a back probing pinout, so it tells you which one's your turn and which one's your reference voltage. So yeah, I mean, pretty simple. But this information, you know, when you're trying to do a quick diag, you can hop in there real quick and it kind of gives you a walkthrough. It also tells you engine cranking test. And so there you go. There you have a waveform of what it should look like. And this is the missing tooth, the sink that it's talking about. So, I mean, if you don't know a system, this could help you tremendously. You have a resistance test where it's going to tell you the resistance should be 0.3 to 0.8 k ohms, 1,000 ohms. And again, the back probing. Oh, and also here, from here, if you're looking up how to do the test, you can just go view meter, and it's going to pop up the meter eventually. And so there you go. It's the meter is already set. It's going to ask you to calibrate the leads. We're not going to calibrate them. But so there is your digital multimeter, and it even leaves the back probing up there. So you can go ahead and do this, calibrate your leads, go to your car. If you have to, you know, move the wires or whatnot, you've got it. But this is just one of the great features that I love about this scanner. I mean, it's tons of information. And of course, you've got your scope multimeter. You have options here for lab scope, ignition scope, graphing multimeter, digital multimeter, and then you have presets for, I mean, just different things. Map sensors, throttle position sensor, secondary ignition, BMW and Audi ignition coils. Also, let's see, I think it's this menu. If you click down here, and this is something that I didn't know up until recently. You go here, and you go to help, and nope, that's not it. Let me go back one more. Let me see. It's in the guided component test, I believe. Yes, so when you are here and you go into the guided component test, okay, so this is, you're trying to figure out how to do a test. At this menu here, if you click this button, click top level menus, power user test, I think this is it. Current probe test, select current probe, current ramp testing. Here you go. You got ignition coil test, fuel pumps, parasitic draw. Let's do fuel injectors. Select injector type. Let's do a conventional. And here you go. It's going to walk you through how to set up the test. And you know, this is not something that somebody who uses a scope every day is going to need, but I mean, this is going to break it down for you pretty detailed as far as how to do the test, kind of what to look for. Super, super, super helpful information. When I first started, I really wish I knew about the top level menus. Let me do this again. Let's see. Let's see how to. Okay, so how to. You've got theory and operation, no start basics. You've got 15-minute ignition classes, coil unplug, and I mean, here you go. This is just a real quick, you know, kind of how to, a little bit of theory, you know, how to do the test and whatnot, all in this scan tool. I mean, this is, you know, these scanners are extremely expensive, but this is absolutely tons of information. Repair information, I don't have Mitchell, I don't have SureTrack, I think, at the moment, so I can't go in there. Vehicle history is a tool that I use a lot. So Volkswagen Jetta is a car that I literally just looked at a few hours ago, and I can go back and I can select view, delete, manage, search, settings, blah, blah, blah. But I can go ahead and view the codes I pulled. So, you know, let's say you hook up to a car, you scan it, you know, you do a quick delete and see what codes come back to find your hard faults, and you forget to look at a code in, you know, a tire pressure monitor, whatnot. It's going to save it for you. You're going to have access to it. I can't tell you how many times personally I have needed to do this. It is a tremendous feature to have. And other scan tools may have it. I just know what I'm familiar with. You got a data manager, help section, system settings. While we're here, I'm actually going to bring this up. This is one thing I absolutely despise about this tool. This tool has the wireless scan module, and for some reason, if the battery dies on this tool, when I power it back up, the first time I go to scan a car, I will have to go into system settings, paired devices, add, once the wireless scan module is hooked up to the car, and press OK. Now it's searching for scan modules at the moment, and I'll have to do that until it lights up over here that it is reading the wireless scan module. I absolutely despise it. It is a pain in the butt, but it is what it is. Now also, this is a Windows-based software, so I mean I've got a full keyboard that I can pull up. Also, pardon the picture of me and my friends, I've got a complete Windows computer. Now granted, I'm not going to use this to do a whole lot, but if I needed, you know, to browse the internet or what have you, I have the capability there. I could very much connect this to the wireless internet and have all data on my scanner, which could potentially be extremely helpful. All data, Identifix, IATN, Diagnostic Network, Mitchell. I think Mitchell is actually the software that repair information goes to. I'm not sure. Let's go OK. Yeah, so Shopkey Pro. I don't have Shopkey. But anyway, so that's the Snap-on, and I mean you've got the 4-channel scope on the back, and I really never use it, but the little hard-tip stylus. I will say this: when the batteries on this thing go, and they will go, it is extremely expensive to replace these batteries. I think they're like $300 and something each. But so yeah, so primarily the reason why, why I used this scan tool, and it's my primary, is because of the guided component test. And I didn't show you this. Let's see if I can go back. Change vehicle. I'm going to go to the demonstration mode, and it's loading up a 06 Tahoe with the 5.3. Let's see here. Engine. Troubleshooter. Okay, so let me back up. So once you go into this, you have your functional test that you can do. Injector balance, blah, 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 whatever. You've also got access to your generic functions. So you don't have to go out and go back into your global mode. You've got your global OBD2 right here. So your mode 6, your ignition misfires, your misfire counters. You can go in. Now, of course, you have to know your test ID numbers, and you can find those online. But you can go in and access your mode 6 information. And then the troubleshooter, these are nice. You've got code tips. So PO 446 or 456. Let's try that. 446. There you go. Alright, so it's going to give you the DTC will set when fuel tank pressure is out of range, possibly due to a blocked evap vent. Whatever, it's going to give you information there. Tons of information. You got symptom tips, driving problems, lack of power, no DTCs, text report finding, crank sensor reluctor loose on crankshaft, remove crank sensor and use a screwdriver through the hole to check for any looseness. May be necessary to remove the starter to access crank sensor. I mean, you get it. Tons of helpful information here. You've got test and procedures. You can go ahead and test a part, cooling fan relays. it's going to tell you how to test it. Drive cycles, or drive cycle procedures. I think I've used this on Toyota in the past. And yeah, so there you go. Conditions for a cold start. It's going to tell you how to perform a drive cycle on here to get all your monitors to set. Now, we're not a inspection state in South Carolina. I know some of you are. This is very critical information for you guys that are inspection states, because your readiness monitors have to be set. Inspection and adjustment, O2 sensor reset, NOx sensor operation, fuel comp sensor. Yeah, just tons and tons and tons of information. So yeah, so that's it. That's the Snap-on scanner. Personally, I love it. It's got its quirks, but I mean, everything does. Alright, so the next one I want to show you here, this is the shop supplied scanner. We actually just recently got this. It is the Autel MaxiSys Elite. I really like this scanner. This kit also came with a 4-channel scope. Haven't had a chance to play with it yet. I've heard that it's not quite as nice as the Snap-on, but I really want to make a judgment based on my own opinions. But so anyways, it's I mean, fully capable scan tool. Personally, what I've found is this is much easier for a quick diag. I have found that Asian cars, this works amazingly. European cars, not so much, or at least in my opinion. We've got a Volkswagen in here today that I had some issues identifying the vehicle. The one thing I've noticed about the Autel is it really gives you every option available, specifically for information. I don't know how to describe it. So if Chrysler had 10,000 options on all their vehicles, it's going to list every single option, and you're going to have to go through and pick them. Now, I'm exaggerating the numbers and whatnot, but that's just what I've seen with this one. I don't know it enough to really show you all the features. I'm going to look and see if there's a demonstration mode, and it doesn't appear to be. Okay, well, let's just try this. I don't even know what I clicked. And it may not communicate just because we're not actually hooked up to a car. I don't even know what this is, to be honest with you. Yeah. So, and it is an Android-based software. A little more user-friendly. But again, I mean, it's got some nice features. Quick service, oil change lights and whatnot. It's got a data manager as well. So I haven't really had a chance to really go through and learn this tool, but that's what I'm working on now. Once again, we do have the MaxiScope. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't even know what kind of car that was. Pro Duo. But anyways, and I'm not entirely sure what these little green arrows are. Maybe there's an update available. But you've got your global tools. And you can look at your history vehicles of what you've recently scanned. Your DTC count. So this one, we go in. And this is very similar to the Snap-on, except this one's going to give you a little different layout. I mean, you can add customer information, customer name, what have you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, geez. The touchscreen is really touchy on this one. But that's pretty much it. That's the scanners that I use. I've got a, I'll upload a video maybe in the coming weeks on what I call quick scanners. They're just little handheld global scanners where you can pull a quick code. And I'm going to be honest with you, what I really like about those is when you already have an idea on the diagnosis and you just want to make a quick trip just to confirm or deny what you have. Specifically, like mass airflow sensors, I don't need to carry, this big scan tool to diagnose a mass airflow sensor. I can graph 6 data PIDs on my little handheld and get the job done really quick before waiting for one of these things to boot up. And we have the Autel version, and I personally have a launch version, and between those two, it really covers everything we have. So there you go, and JP, I hope that answers your questions. That's what I have. That's what I'm used to. My boss is actually an OTC guy, and he can work through those scan tools faster than I can. He knows them. He's used them for a very long time, and it's what he's comfortable with. He'll tell you real quick that's his favorite scanner. But at the end of the day, it's what you know, what you're comfortable with. Obviously, you want to master as many as possible because that's going to give you a greater versatility. You're not going to be limited to, if you go to help a friend out and they don't, you don't have yours, you only have a certain scanner or whatnot. You want to learn as much as you can. You want to be well versed in the scan tools. That way, in the future, you're not tied down to one model. You can't do a job because you don't have a certain scanner. But yeah, so maybe I'll get my hands on a Maximus and try one of those out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for you today. I do appreciate you bearing with me through this cold. I feel absolutely horrible. It's like it's got to be like 8 o'clock at night. 2 hours after work trying to do this video, and I feel miserable. But thank you so much for bearing with me through it all. I do apologize for how I sound. I want to ask you, if you haven't already, click that like button, go down there, hit the subscribe button below, and click the little bell. I do appreciate every single one of my subscribers, and I look forward to putting out content and communicating with you in the comments box. Maybe I can answer some questions for you. Maybe we can spark a conversation. It's all about having a good community, and I feel like I've got one of the best ones out there. Thank you guys so much. Please tune in to the next video. I'm going to try to keep these coming to you every Tuesday. Again, I'm your host, Charlie the Wrench. Thanks for watching. And remember, smile. It makes people wonder what you've been up to. Y'all have a great day.